So hey everyone guys, I'm Swapnil from ACM Student Chapter IITSM Dhanbad, and in this video I'll be discussing the problem D, Captain Flint and Treasure from the Codeforces round 660, which is rated for Division 2. I must say today's problem set was really great, and there were variety of problems and also included some graph problems. And so without much delay I will just jump to the problem statement. What we have here is two arrays a and b of length n, and initially we have another variable answer which is equals to 0. Okay, and we have some sort of operations, and after performing this particular operation which is defined in these three steps for I number of times, for basically all the positions, we will have to maximize our answer ans, and we will also have to print the optimal order in which I am getting the maximum value of answer. So I'll just move to the explanation part for a better understanding of the problem statement. So basically we have two arrays a and b of length n, and initially we have answer ans equals to 0, and a particular operation means choosing some position I which is greater than equals to 1 and less than equals to n, and after choosing this particular position, what I will be doing is I will be adding this value, the value at this position, I position, in my array a to my answer or to the variable ans. And after doing this particular thing, if my value at position I in array B is not equals to -1, and that is some non-negative value, then I will just make this particular position the bith position in the array A, and I will add the value at that position with AI. And we will also our task is to find the maximum possible value of answer after performing exactly I operations. So basically I will be choosing all the positions like 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. So basically we will have to find some set of order or some permutation of n such that if we apply the operation in that particular order, our value of ans answer is maximized, and we will also have to print that particular optimized order. And the constants are given like this. So basically one thing which we can note from here is AI is also in the negative range, and it's around 10 power 6 range, and my bi is from 1 to n, and it can also be -1. Okay, the additional constraint, or I would rather say a hint. So basically you must have seen this thing in Codeforces, that the part that is highlighted or that is made bold, those are a potential hint to that particular problem, and this was the bold part, and this is literally a very good hint to to have a better approach to this problem, to get started with this problem. So basically what we had in that particular constraint, additional constraint or the hint, is that it is guaranteed that for any I, for any position in this sequence, this will never form a cycle. That is, this sequence will finally end with a -1, and it will not form a cycle and it will go on in a cycle. It will not be that case. It will always end with a -1. So this was a potential hint, and I will move to the funda part, and I will let you know what particular hint that particular additional constraint is giving to us. Okay, so here is the funda. Let us first see what that additional constraint or hint wants to say. So basically it says b of bi will never, and this series will go on, and this will never make a cycle and will always end at -1. So this simply gives us an idea of approaching or implementing this problem using graphs. So basically this is a very trivial idea or very basic idea where we are having something like non-cyclic or acyclic or anything like that, then we must think that particular problem or get started with that particular problem with a graph approach. So now the question to us which is posed by the problem statement is, where is our graph here? How we can apply graph in this particular problem? So it's really simple. We can see here, after choosing a position I, we are checking if bi is minus 1 or not, right? In a particular operation we are choosing this position I and we are then checking if bi is minus 1 or not. So if it is not minus 1, then we just add that value of ai to my value of ai at bi, right? So it's quite simple that we will be choosing the positions in such a way that it will end with minus 1 at the last, and then we can easily use the maximum values of ai, right? I will just explain it in a simple manner. What I am trying to say that after choosing a particular position I am moving to another position which is bi, right? Because in doing so, the value at this ith index is getting added to the value at this bith index. So the next one which will be choosing or to the next position which we will be going will be bi, and after that we will be going to b of bi, right? So basically it's forming a graph, and I will explain later how exactly does this graph look like. So as said earlier, this thing will finally end in minus 1 because that was the potential hint in my additional constant part, and after that it's simple that we can easily form a maximum value, right? By keep on doing this particular operations in this way, because value at each position is getting added here as said earlier. Okay, so formally I wanted to say that my order looks something like this, right? Such that the end here, the positions where I will be ending, or the positions which I will be ending or which I will choosing at the last, will be the ones whose value at that particular position in my B array will be minus 1, right? Because these particular values will never be used or will never help me to get some potential contribution in my this value ans, right? And it will not move to some other potential node, or basically some other choice. So I think this must have become a bit messy now. So I just wanted to say that my particular ordering in which I will be choosing these values or these positions will be something like this one, right? And it will be finally ending with some set of minus ones, right? Okay, so now I must say you must have convinced about using topological sort for these type of ordering, and if not yet, then just see here, the order is just like I goes to bi, bi goes to b of bi, and then it keeps on going till we get some node which is the end, where we will be ending everything. So it's just like I'm having a node here, and then this will go to another node here, and then this will go to another node here, and it will keep on going to some nodes, and this will be the final node, right? So how will I get this particular ordering in a graph, in a director acyclic graph? Because the graph is not cyclic as given in the hint. So obviously we will be using topological sort to get this type of ordering. Now that we have got topo sort ordering, after like this is my post topo sort algo. After I am done with this topo sort order, I will use this topo sort order to like choose these positions in such a way that my answer will be maximum. So basically what I will be doing from that particular order is we will smartly choose only those positions only those i's where the value of ai is greater than 0, where the value of ai is positive, such that the final answer will be maximized. Because if we will be choosing any ai which is negative, then it will obviously give a negative contribution to my answer. So I will only choose those particular positions in my topo order where the value of ai will be positive and which will be giving a positive contribution to my answer, and finally the answer will be maximized. So what about those positions which are giving some negative contribution? So for those contributions I will obviously take or choose those particular positions which gives the negative contribution at the last. And also, apart from choosing those particular negative contribution positions at the last, we will also trigger or we will also activate or choose those particular position from right to left order, not left to right, not the topo sort order, the reverse topo sort order. Why so? Because in doing so, why backwards? Because the next position of any current position, if I am choosing it in backwards, then if the last one is there, then the next one to the last one will be -1, and second last one, then the last one is already chosen. So it won't be affecting my answers because these are having some negative contribution. So I will have to make sure that when I trigger or when I activate these particular positions, it won't be having any effect on my answer, because it will just minimize my answer or it will affect my answer in a negative way. So formally, if we choose position I from backwards, then the next one would be always -1 or already chosen one, so my answer will not get affected. And other than that, for the positive contribution ones, I will just choose in the topo sort order where the value of ai is positive, right? So I guess this is pretty much it about the basic idea of the problem. I will move to the coding part so that you will have a better understanding of how the code exactly looks like and why we are doing so. Yeah, we have taken this as input and we will just declare another variable ans which will be 0, and we will declare two arrays or two vectors globally, and we will use the resize, and we will resize it with n, which is taken as input from the user. Okay, we will also be using another vector, a boolean type vector, visited. This is for the topological sort. I guess it's pretty much easy, this topological sort thing, and you must have read about it. Or if you want to read about topological sort or to learn topological sort, then you can obviously go to CP algorithm site. That's a really great one, and you will really learn a lot from that one. And also it provides a great set of problems to practice for some particular algorithm. Okay, so I have declared these arrays or these vectors which I will be using or which I will be taking input from the user. So I will first take the array A from the user and then this array B. Okay, now one thing, I'm just making this bi as bi minus minus. Why I'm doing so? Because this bi is from 1 to n, but I want to make it zero indexing from 0 to n minus 1, because I'm basically comfortable with this zero indexing, so it doesn't really matter. Even though now I will just run a DFS with B as my graph. I'm not really making any graph over here, and because the next one there is no such various neighbors to a particular node. I am just having bi as a neighbor of I, so there is no meaning of making graph explicitly. We can always make it like this. I will just define this DFS function int I, and here I will make visited as true. I have initially made all the n values of my visited boolean vector as false, and whenever we will visit that particular node I will make it true, and I will check if the next node to that I1, it's nothing but bi, if this value is greater than equals to 0 or not, and it is not visited. If this one is not visited and its value is greater than equals to 0, then we will just call this function with this particular value, I mean the next node. And I will also make a stack over here which will be storing my topological sorting order, and we will push the node I or the vertex I over here. Okay, so here S is giving me the topo sort order which is stored in a stack, and I will just use this thing as s dot top, and this is the first value or the first node of the topo sort, and I will make answer. I will be choosing these particular indexes in the topo sort order, so I will just increment the answer in this way. Answer plus is equals to AI. Now if my AI is greater than 0 and bi is not equals to -1, right? These are the two cases when I will be choosing, or I will be like choosing this particular position at the first, so that my answer will be maximized. And here I will use two arrays which let's say v1 and v2, and my order will be like first v1 is displayed and then v2 in reverse order. Okay, I have explained this earlier why we are making it in backwards order of, or the reverse order of topo sort. I will just increment this bi yet position at my array AI with this value AI, and I will just push back this value p dot push back I plus 1. Why I am pushing I plus 1? Because initially I made I minus minus, right? Initially I made this thing bi minus minus, and here I is nothing but the ordering of those b vertices, right? So that's why I'm making this I plus 1. Okay, and else if this is not the case, then I will push it in v2. Okay, so we are done with finding this v1 and v2, and answer will be calculated according to this particular order, and it will be the highest one. Finally I will display, or I will print my v1 in this order. Cout v1 of I and this space, and then if the size of v2 is greater than 0, then I will basically loop back or reverse or like basically traverse the vector v2 backwards. And this is my v2 of I, and this space, and finally an ender. Okay, so I guess this is pretty much it from my side, and let's move to Codeforces to check if this particular solution is correct or not. Okay, so I think you must have got the basic idea of why we are using TopoSort, and why we are taking only those particular AI which are positive. Okay, so we got an AC over here. Thanks for watching this video. Do like, subscribe and share this with your friends, and please hit the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching this video. Keep coding.